In a world obsessed with popularity and numbers, we often forget that greatness doesn't require a crowd. It requires clarity, courage, and consistency. A small circle doesn't mean you think small. It means you're intentional. It means you've decided to surround yourself with people who feed your fire, not those who drain your energy. A big vision doesn't need constant validation. It needs discipline, it needs focus, and it needs people who understand your silence as much as your words. Some of the world's most revolutionary ideas were born in quiet rooms, not in loud crowds. Your circle is your environment, and your environment shapes your mind. Choose people who challenge your thinking, push you to grow, and hold you accountable when you slip. So you don't need 100 opinions to move forward. You need a few strong voices that believe in your purpose. Your vision is sacred. Not everyone is meant to understand it, and not everyone deserves access to it. Be okay with being misunderstood for a while. Be okay with walking alone sometimes. Because when your vision is big, your path may look lonely, but it's never empty. So keep your circle tight, your energy clean, and your vision limitless. Don't shrink your dream to fit someone else's comfort zone. Grow into your dream, even if it means you have to outgrow certain people. A small circle is not a limitation, it's a foundation. And a big vision is not a fantasy, it's a calling. Honor it, protect it, build it. A small circle doesn't imply weakness, it reflects strength and wisdom. It means you carefully choose who gets access to your energy, your thoughts, and your dreams. Fewer people, stronger bonds, and deeper trust allow you to focus on growth rather than managing noise. Your environment influences your mindset. When your circle is filled with individuals who motivate, uplift, and challenge you, your vision becomes clearer and your progress accelerates. Protecting your space helps you stay aligned with your goals. Great dreams aren't built on shaky support systems. A focused, loyal circle becomes the sturdy ground on which you can build something extraordinary. Without the right people, even the greatest ideas can collapse. Growth often happens in quiet moments, not in public applause. You don't need to broadcast your journey or gain approval from the crowd. Let your actions speak louder than words, and trust that your vision will speak for itself in time. Protecting your dream means being selective about who you share it with. Many won't understand it, and some may even try to talk you out of it. Focus on those who see your potential and water your seeds instead of uprooting them. When you walk a unique path, it can get lonely, but that's often a sign that you're heading somewhere meaningful. The crowd doesn't follow visionaries until the vision is complete. Until then, walk with faith and focus. As your vision grows, you will outgrow people who were once close to you. It's not betrayal, it's evolution. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Keep rising, and the right people will rise with you. A true vision comes from within and doesn't need external validation. It's not about doing what's popular. It's about doing what you were created for. Stay committed, stay focused, and let your consistency prove your passion. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the more people you have around you, the more successful or supported you are. But the truth is, true strength lies in the depth of your relationships, not the number of them. Having a small circle means you've taken the time to evaluate who genuinely adds value to your life and who simply fills space. It means you've matured to the point where you no longer chase validation from everyone. You focus instead on building meaningful, authentic connections with the select few who truly understand your journey. These are the people who support your vision even when it's still just a rough idea. They hold you accountable, speak truth to you even when it's uncomfortable, and celebrate your wins without jealousy or hidden motives. A smaller circle creates space for vulnerability and honesty, things that often get lost in larger groups. You're not constantly performing or explaining yourself. You're free to be raw, focused, and purpose-driven. A large circle may expose you to more opinions, but it also invites more confusion, distractions, and drama. When your energy is scattered across too many people, your focus suffers. On the other hand, a small, intentional circle helps you preserve your mental clarity, emotional stability, and creative energy. It's easier to stay aligned with your values and goals when you're not juggling endless opinions or social obligations. Choosing quality over quantity isn't about shutting people out. It's about honoring your time, your energy, and your purpose. It's a sign of maturity and self-awareness. You're no longer interested in being everywhere with everyone. You want to be in the right place with the right people, doing the right work that fuels your vision. Your environment is not just the physical space you live or work in. It's also the emotional and mental atmosphere created by the people you surround yourself with. Every conversation, every relationship, every interaction leaves an imprint on your mindset. That's why being intentional about your circle isn't just wise, it's essential. When you surround yourself with individuals who challenge you intellectually, uplift you emotionally, and align with your values, your growth becomes inevitable. Intentional surroundings create a space where your vision is not only protected, but also nurtured. You begin to think bigger because the people around you refuse to let you play small. They don't just cheer for your comfort, they push you into your potential. These are the people who aren't afraid to give you honest feedback, remind you of your goals, and call you out when you start to drift off course. They help you stay grounded in your purpose, especially during seasons when self-doubt tries to creep in. On the flip side, if your circle is filled with negativity, jealousy, laziness, or people who don't share your values, it becomes nearly impossible to stay focused on your big vision. And their energy can distract you, drain you, and even cause you to question your path. You start to lower your standards just to fit in, and before long, your vision is no longer your own. It's diluted by the opinions of people who were never meant to understand it in the first place. Being intentional about who you allow into your space means you are taking responsibility for your own growth. It's about creating a culture around you that encourages excellence, accountability, resilience, and faith in the future. You're not just building a network, you're cultivating a support system that reflects your purpose and keeps your eyes fixed on where you're going, not where you've been. A big vision is like a towering building. The higher you want to go, the deeper and stronger your foundation must be. You can't construct something extraordinary on shaky ground, and that foundation is often built from the people you keep close, the mindset you cultivate, and the values you refuse to compromise on. Without a solid support system, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, even the most brilliant dreams can crumble under pressure. When your inner circle is strong, aligned, and deeply rooted in loyalty and shared purpose, your vision becomes more than just an idea. It becomes a movement. The people you trust become the architects of your dream, helping you map it out, keep it intact, and protect it from collapse. They don't just show up in your moments of success, they're present during the planning, the sacrifices, the doubts, and the discipline it takes to build something that lasts. A weak foundation, on the other hand, is built on superficial connections, yes men, and people who are more interested in the spotlight than in the structure. They will abandon you when things get tough, question your direction when it's not convenient, and distract you with ego instead of helping you stay rooted in purpose. That's why choosing a reliable, focused, and principled circle is crucial when your vision is larger than life. Building a vision isn't just about dreaming big, it's about preparing thoroughly. It's about surrounding yourself with people who understand the long haul, who won't collapse under pressure, and who are willing to stand in the shadows while you rise because they believe in what you're building just as much as you do. Every great achievement in history was sustained by a foundation of deep trust, shared belief, and unshakable values. In a world that constantly demands attention, where everyone is quick to broadcast their every move, choosing silence can be one of the most powerful decisions you make. There's a profound strength in moving quietly, in building your vision without announcing every step. True growth often happens in private, in those unseen hours of hard work, discipline, reflection, and perseverance. While noise attracts crowds, silence builds character. When you choose silence, you give yourself the space to think clearly, to refine your ideas, and to make decisions that are not influenced by outside opinions. You're not distracted by trying to impress others or prove anything. You're focused on becoming the best version of yourself and turning your vision into reality. The need for constant validation fades, and in its place comes self-trust, patience, and inner alignment. The noise around you, the opinions, the doubts, the distractions can easily derail your purpose if you let it. Every time you expose your vision to unqualified voices, you risk watering down your passion. Not everyone needs to understand where you're going, and not everyone deserves access to your process. Your vision is sacred, and silence protects it from being misunderstood, criticized prematurely, or exploited before it's ready. Some of the most impactful leaders and innovators worked in silence long before the world recognized them. Their greatness wasn't born in the spotlight, it was developed in solitude, in consistent, unseen effort. When you learn to value silence, you also learn to appreciate the clarity and focus it brings. You become more intentional with your words, your time, and your energy, knowing that not everything needs to be shared. Some things need to be protected, nurtured, and strengthened behind closed doors. Your vision is one of the most personal, powerful, and sacred parts of your life. It's the blueprint of your purpose, your dreams, and your future. And just like you wouldn't hand your house keys to a stranger, you shouldn't hand your vision to everyone you meet. Not everyone has the mindset, maturity, or integrity to understand or support what you're building, and that's okay. One of the biggest mistakes people make is oversharing their dreams with the wrong audience. When you give access to your vision too freely, you expose it to unnecessary criticism, misunderstanding, and even sabotage. Some people may try to limit your thinking because your dream threatens their comfort zone. Others may discourage you not because you can't do it, but because they never believed they could. Their projections, insecurities, and doubts can seep into your spirit and cause you to question the very thing you were born to do. Having a big vision requires emotional intelligence and discernment. You must learn to recognize who's genuinely for you and who's just curious. Curiosity doesn't mean commitment, and not everyone who listens to your dream intends to support it. Some just want to watch, gossip, or even compete. That's why it's crucial to protect your dream in its early stages. Like a seed in the soil, your vision needs time, nourishment, and protection before it's strong enough to withstand storms and exposure. Keep in mind that your journey is not meant to be understood by everyone. Some people won't see your vision until it's fully visible, until the results speak louder than your explanations ever could. And by then, the foundation will already be strong because you spent your time building instead of explaining. Select carefully who you share your ideas with. Look for those who listen with intention, encourage with wisdom, and challenge you with love. They are the ones worthy of being part of your inner circle. One of the most misunderstood aspects of growth and purpose is the feeling of loneliness. When you start chasing a big vision, one that stretches beyond the norms, beyond comfort zone, and beyond what others can comprehend, you often find yourself walking alone. But this loneliness is not a sign that you're lost. It's often a powerful indication that you're on the right path. When your goals become clear and your focus sharpens, the crowd begins to thin. Not everyone is willing to travel the road of sacrifice, discipline, and delayed gratification. As you elevate your thinking and raise your standards, people who were once closed may start to feel distant, not because you've changed for the worse, but because you've grown in a direction they're not ready or willing to go. And that's a part of the process. Every level of personal and professional evolution demands a shedding of habits, of distractions, and often of relationships that no longer align with your purpose. It's painful, yes, but necessary for your vision to take full form. This season of solitude is where your mental toughness is refined. It's where you begin to hear your own voice clearly without the static of other people's doubts or opinions. It's where you develop self-discipline, internal motivation, and spiritual clarity. You're no longer seeking company just to feel safe. You're choosing alignment over attachment. The discomfort of walking alone is temporary, but the strength and focus you build in that solitude will carry you through every challenge that lies ahead. When you embrace this phase instead of resisting it, you begin to understand that loneliness isn't a weakness. It's a sacred space of preparation. It's where you dig deep, face your fears, and become the person your vision requires you to be. You're not lonely because you're unworthy. You're lonely because you're being set apart for something greater than the crowd can see right now. As you evolve, so does your mindset, your energy, and your purpose. And with that evolution often comes the uncomfortable reality of outgrowing people you were once deeply connected to. It doesn't mean you no longer care about them, and it doesn't make them bad people. It simply means that the version of you that once aligned with them is no longer who you are. Growth demands space, and sometimes that space can only be created when you release relationships that no longer support your direction. Outgrowing people can be one of the most painful parts of personal development because we're wired to seek connection, familiarity, and loyalty. But not all connections are meant to last forever. Some are seasonal, meant to teach you something, guide you through a certain chapter, or show you what you value. Holding on to them after their time has passed can actually slow down your progress, cloud your vision, and drain your energy. When you grow, your priorities change, your conversations shift, and your goals become more aligned with your higher purpose, and not everyone will resonate with that transformation. You may notice that some people begin to feel threatened by your growth. They may mock your ambition, question your choices, or subtly discourage you from going after more. Why? Because your elevation can make others uncomfortable, especially if they are unwilling to grow themselves. This is why it's important to recognize that loyalty to your vision must come before loyalty to your comfort zone. You can't let old ties hold you back from reaching new heights. Letting go doesn't have to be bitter. It can be done with love, grace, and gratitude. Thank those people for the role they played, and then release them with peace. Every time you make space by removing what no longer serves you, you create room for new relationships, ones that are more aligned, more purposeful, and more supportive of the person you are becoming. Growth is not just about acquiring more. It's often about shedding what you've outgrown so your vision can breathe and expand without limitations. In a world dominated by trends, likes, and viral moments, it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing what's popular rather than pursuing what's purposeful. But a true vision isn't a passing moment of hype. It's a calling deeply rooted in who you are, what you value, and what you were created to do. Unlike trends, which are fleeting and surface level, a vision is long-term, transformative, and often countercultural. It doesn't follow the crowd. It leads in a direction few are bold enough to take. Your vision is not something you discovered by scrolling through social media or imitating others' Princes. It's something that speaks to your soul, keeps you up at night, and burns in your heart, even when no one else sees it. That's how you know it's a calling, because it demands sacrifice, consistency, and faith, even when there's no applause or recognition. Trends are about timing, but a calling is about alignment. It's not always convenient, but it is always meaningful. A vision that is born from your core values and life purpose is immune to the noise of the world. It doesn't fade with the seasons or change because others don't approve. It stays steady, even when the path is unclear, because it's anchored in something greater than public opinion. It's anchored in your truth. Following a calling means you're committed to the long haul. It means you're willing to build something that lasts, rather than chasing short-lived popularity. What makes a calling powerful is that it chooses you just as much as you choose it. You may try to ignore it, delay it, or hide from it, but it keeps pulling you back. It speaks to your spirit in ways nothing else does. And because it's uniquely yours, no one else can fully understand or replicate it. That's why protecting it is crucial. That's why walking it out with focus and conviction matters. You're not following a path to impress others. You're answering a call to fulfill something only you were designed to carry out. So remember this, you don't need a large crowd to chase a large dream. You don't need everyone to understand your journey to make it worthwhile. What you need is clarity in your purpose, courage to walk alone when necessary, and a committed few who believe in your vision as fiercely as you do. The world may not see the full picture now, but that's because visionaries are always ahead of their time. Keep your circle small, your energy protected, and your eyes on the future. Because the size of your circle doesn't limit the size of your vision, it strengthens it. And when your foundation is strong, your growth has no ceiling.